The views and opinions expressed on Deeply Upsetting are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, associated brands, properties, or businesses. Listener discretion is advised. Please keep your hands inside the ride at all times. Fuck, Marry, Kill. Christmas edition. We're going to cover some bases here. So, Santa Claus, Krampus, or our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Wow.
And just to make it not creepy, not like newborn baby Jesus in a manger.
Okay, not birthday Jesus.
Not birthday Jesus. That's too problematic. Let's not go there. We're talking like
Death Jesus?
Surfer's bod, like 32-year-old, already walked the desert in really good shape, about to be hung in a bad way. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Okay. Tough call. I mean, you've got some really solid options here. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm probably going to have to kill Jesus for our sins.
Wow. Well, that's true.
I have to.
There is a consolation prize.
Exactly.
For murdering Jesus.
He's got to go. And honestly, if he married me or fucked me, he wouldn't want to die for our sins. He'd want to stay here with me.
What you're saying is that all of humanity's opportunities to go to heaven are reliant on you not fucking Jesus.
I can't help this pussy. And neither could he. So there you go. Mary Magdalene got shit on me.
You got a heathen ass pussy? Is that?
Yes, exactly. Jesus turned water into wet ass pussy.
Oh no.
Okay, well,
starting
just
off strong on
cementing
this
us
episode.
in hell.
Yeah.
I mean, we were bound to go there anyway,
sure.
So it's fine. Okay, so I think I'm going to. So my first instinct is to marry Santa, right?
Yeah.
But here's the problem. A, I hate the cold. So then I'm just, at the North Pole forever? B, he's there all the time. I get one night off an entire year to have a girls' night or, be alone. I feel like Santa would just be up my asshole all the time.
Like it's bad enough, like if you have a partner that works from home, like telecommutes or something, that's one thing. But to have a partner that works one day a year, so isn't even busy with work on all the 364 days out of the year.
Exactly.
And it's just puttering around, like just looking over Elf's shoulders, being like, that looks pretty good. Just so cool.
Exactly.
Think I'll just have another eggnog.
Right. So drinking problem husband.
And also bored eater, clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the problem with Santa, is that he has nothing to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the problem is that also, do I want to fuck Santa? That's I feel like a dangerous territory to get into.
So the things that Santa's going to say, like, I'm going to spill my jelly. Like,
no, I hate that.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. But also,
you've been a naughty girl.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't like that at all. But, okay, the other thing is, if I marry Krampus, what's my role? Do I at least get to think of, the torture for the bad children? Do I get to think of
come up with new and innovative ways of torturing children?
Yeah. Is that where I come into play?
I mean, it really depends. I don't really know Krampus personally, so I don't know if Krampus is one that tries to leave work at work and home at home and tries to separate the two, or if it's something that would be collaborative where you are kind of engaged in, well, babe, what have you thought about, I don't know, maybe using water torture? I know that was really big in Asia. And being like, you know what? I never really thought about that yet. Expanding. Why not expand? I don't have to keep it just to Germanic style torture.
Right. But also I feel like I should choose Krampus for my fuck choice because that he's a hard dom and would be amazing at it. Okay. So I need to switch up my whole thing. Okay. So I'm going to fuck Krampus.
Okay.
I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to marry Jesus.
You're going to marry Jesus.
Well, he's out of my hair at 33. That's not too long. And so then I'll kill Santa.
Okay, you're gonna.
Wow.
So there's no good choices here because you're now condemning everyone to eternal hell for Jesus not dying for their sins.
No, we'll be married. It'll be a sexless marriage. He'll still want to go.
You're gonna be
33
Jesus's beard.
Yeah, definitely Jesus's beard.
Okay.
He's got the abs under control. I'll be his beard.
All the people in the village are like, it's weird. Jesus is he's an old man. He's 24.
Right.
He's old and he still hasn't bedded a woman, hasn't gotten married. he should have been married 10 years ago at this point.
Exactly.
And they're kind of weirded out by it. So he's just like, yo, Amy.
Yeah. Can I tell you a quick secret?
Yeah, you need to really nail this down for me.
Exactly.
But okay, so
plus I'd always be in wine, so that's good.
I don't think it's a bad call if you are making sure that Jesus still dies.
Yeah. See, I was coming at it for the right reasons the whole time, but I just had to change my tune. So I'll just be like Jesus' supportive friend until he dies.
Murdering Santa, that means that there are going to be children all over the world that don't get Christmas presents.
Yeah, but then I can just explain to them, like, if you wanted these presents, I would have to have sex with Santa and then show them a picture and tell them about the bowl full of jelly tagline and whatnot. And I feel like they would understand.
I think maybe if you, I don't think you even have to go to that route and like expose children to being like, Santa's a fuggo, and so I don't want to fuck him. Sorry about your toys.
Not trying to like kink shame anyone that wants to fuck Santa. I get it.
No, I think you should just America it up and be like, Santa was a commie.
Oh, yeah.
He was into socialism and shit and just spreading the wealth. And no,
Right.
this is America. God damn it.
Yep.
And in America, you earn your keep. If you want you want a present, you want that toy truck. Do kids play with toy trucks anymore? I don't think.
I don't know.
If you want that new Fortnite skin,
there we go.
Then you need to do some chores around the house.
Listen, I know that skin is like a popular thing, but I think because I don't play video games and hear it enough, I truly always think that it's like a skin suit that you are then jumping into that says Fortnite on it or something.
No, that's
like
what
a
you're going to have
suit.
of Santa after you murder him is a Santa skin suit.
Hot.
Yeah.
Love that. Do I get to keep the beard as well?
Yeah, it's attached to the skin underneath the beard.
Well, yeah, of course, that makes sense.
Yeah,
great.
so.
See, and then I could put it on and I could role play Santa.
Weird,
and then when I had sex
flappy
with
Santa
Krampus,
suit.
we would have such a weird time.
Krampus would be like, it's weird because like normally I deal with like problematic children, and here I am with the jolly head elf guy, Santa, that's like in charge of like making sure that kids are happy. He's like, I don't know if I want to like get pissed and roll out of here or come really hard.
Well, I think once he realized that I was wearing Santa's skin, he would be like super into it. Yeah. Krampus is a little kinky weirdo. I know it.
I mean, he's literally horny.
Oh, true.
So,
very true. Exactly. Yeah. All right. What would you do?
That's difficult.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah,
you think
it really is.
I know.
See, I'm not really big on negative reinforcement, so Krampus might have to go.
Okay.
As much as he could probably dick down well.
Definitely.
Or I'm sorry for gendering. I don't know what the sex of Krampus. So
true.
So she or they might be real good at slamming it down.
Love that.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate. I'm missing out on that.
Mm-hmm.
So kill Krampus. Now I've got to either marry or fuck Jesus.
Yeah, you do. And Santa.
And Santa.
Have fun with these options that you've created. This a personal hell that you have landscaped for us.
I feel like being a kept man has always been a dream of mine where I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
and
you do talk about that quite a lot.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Mostly in a disappointed, you're not doing that for me kind of way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. While I'm crying and like scrubbing the floors.
I'm sorry, I can't give you what you want. And I'm just like, yeah, it sucks for me too.
Yeah. It's really terrible for both of us, honestly.
It really is. So I want to not have that relationship, and therefore Santa might be the move.
That's probably a good move for you, yeah.
The number of kids that are getting PS5s this Christmas,
right.
I'd be like, Santa. Little Bobby was okay good. Like, he wasn't great good. He was still kind of a dick. Like, one of his goldfish died. That's got to count for something. Yeah. Just one less PS5. Send it on my way.
Wow. Okay. So you're really going to play the, I've been a good little boy all year kind of game?
Absolutely. I'll be like, no, I will be a good little spouse to you, Santa, if you make sure that I'm kept in the way that I've become accustomed. And just live it up. I got elf servants.
You'd be like Richie Rich.
I'd be Richie
You'd have
Rich.
So much shit.
So hard. I would, except instead of jumping into a pile of coins don't matter. Money has no need, it has no worth in the North Pole. So I'd just be diving into big old piles of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Nice.
Shaped as the Christmas trees,
Right.
Specifically those.
Of course, yeah, holiday themed. Yeah. Sure.
So I'd be
like red cream Oreos.
It would be for a marriage, I think. It being a sexless marriage wouldn't really bother me too much because of just how
would it
well
be a
kept.
sexless marriage? You've made that choice, apparently.
Santa looks like he's probably a really pervy dude.
He really does. And he does not look good at sex. I'm sorry to judge, but like you can tell with some people.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Santa would like dick you down properly. I really don't.
He looks like he'd have one of those like not judgy kinks where you're like, this is problematic, but like just a weird one that you're like, it's not so much of an issue that I'm like, I want to call the police.
No, Santa's like a sniff your underwear guy.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Like where you're just like, if that's what you're into, that's cool, I guess.
But
not
also,
really...
he can buy your affections. So he doesn't have to be good at sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're going to go ahead and fuck Jesus?
I'm going to fuck Jesus.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, make sure when you're passing word along to your disciples about gay sex, just remember this part here, bud. just a reminder.
Jot this down on your heart.
That's totally good. That's good on your bed. Be like, and fish and bread. And it's really cool. People got the fish and the bread, all that stuff that I talked about. It's really great. Also, dudes doing dudes, rad. It's totally fine. It's fine. Girls and girls, they and them pronouns, awesome. Everybody cool. Also, if you ever meet somebody called Donald Trump, fuck that guy. And then
no, don't fuck that guy.
I mean, don't fuck that guy. Let's be no uncertain terms there. And
don't fuck a Trump. Just stop the bloodline. Right? Honestly, stop it so ahead of time.
And the end. That's great. And
so basically, you're saying that you could have like saved humanity with your penis.
I could have saved the idea of modern morality by fucking Jesus.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm doing it for the world.
Me too. That's why I married Jesus in a friendly way.
In a beardy way.
In a beardy way.
All right.
Overall, this has been very festive, but mostly just deeply upsetting. Welcome back to Deeply Upsetting. I am your hostess with the mostest bad opinions, Amy Bogarde.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit, also with an equal, if not worse, amount of bad opinions.
Oh, don't put that on yourself. Not worse. We're both absolutely terrible.
Questionable.
Yeah.
I'll live in that little purgatory.
Exactly. But you know what? We have given ourselves the power, because this is America, to use our expertise to answer all of your questions. You get to hear just the absolute terrible nonsense that comes out of our faces as often as we put the show out, which has been a little bit less frequent lately. But you know what? We're working on it. It's a work in progress. So thank you for your patience.
We got stuff to do, like fucking Jesus or being a beard for Jesus. So
Mike has been a kept man this whole time.
It really has been nice.
So he hasn't needed to, do the podcast. I've just been begging and begging. But here we are today. So luckily I was able to take him away from his PS6. He was lucky enough to get it early because he's been such a good little boy.
Well, Santa's busy this time of year doing some stuff. This is like the one time of year that he's like, oh, I got to pay attention to shit. So it's like, okay, well, I'll go on vacation.
Yeah, to do this podcast. Amazing. So we're going to be here answering your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries. And if we can ever get Mike to come back and do another episode, we're going to need your questions.
Absolutely.
To tear him away from his kept lifestyle. You can submit them in a bunch of different ways. The best way is probably on Facebook or Twitter. We post asking for your questions all the time, but you can just drop them off and not have to worry about our prompts ever again. It's Deeply Upsetting on Facebook and Twitter. You can send us an email at geeksundertheinfluence@gmail.com. Just put Deeply Upsetting in the subject line so we can find you. Or you can give us a call, leave us a voicemail, send us a festive text, if you will.
Festive, sexy text.
A festive, sexy text.
Susan,
come on. Show the holiday titties, girl. At the GUI Network hotline, it's 804-505-4484, which is 804-505-4GUI.
Woo!
Woohoo! You ready to get into it?
I am more than ready to get into it. I am full of the Christmas spirit.
Oh.
And I am ready to expound that upon the world.
Okay, well, bad news. The only non-Christmas question is the first one I'm going to ask.
Well, God damn it.
So it gives you time to like warm up into your spirit and then get into the final Christmas questions. All right. So here's the first question. It's from friend of all shows, friend of the network, and overall, absolutely incredible person. Will McCobb, our favorite local
Everything.
magician, beekeeper,
farmer, photographer,
model,
and also heavily involved, especially with the modeling, has been known to model a little bit for Hell Kitten RVA.
Yes,
his lovely wife runs, which is a amazing little shop full of all sorts of clothing, accessories, and I mean, just give it a look. It's all the fun, creepy, occult, and weird that you could possibly imagine. That's hellkittenrva.com.
Yep, perfect for all your holiday gifts.
Also, there's a link to that in our link page on gypodcast.com.
Oh, yes.
If you don't feel like remembering anything, just go to our links on the website.
I don't blame you. I would try and block this out of my memory too. But
That's
don't
fair.
forget about that. If you keep one thing from this whole thing, buy something from Hell Kitten. And speaking of holiday gifts, Will has holiday gifted us this question. Okay, so a bird once known as the Australian white ibis, I'm going for.
Ibis, I think.
Ibis, yep,
Yeah.
there we go. Now referred to as the bin chicken, has evolved to live in urban environments and feast on trash. Its beak has changed shape to more effectively go dumpster diving. What if dinosaurs hadn't died out and just evolved with humans and now dwelled alongside us? What horrifying or gross adaptations would this have created?
That is an interesting question.
It is,
I believe, close to a question that we had on a very early episode of the show, that we were talking about there being an evolution of dinosaurs, or I think that's where it came to. But there's a slightly different angle to this one that I am interested in, and I think it aligns with the alongside people.
Right, yes.
The idea of that, for the sake of this question, they're talking not necessarily about whether or not humans would survive if dinosaurs still survived. You know, that
right.
We're saying that humans definitely became the dominant species still, and with a human world, how would the dinosaurs evolve?
Right.
That's the spirit of this question.
Exactly.
Okay. So the first thought is that, like many other animals in the world that have evolved since man has taken over, the pure size of dinosaurs may change.
Definitely.
You've got, these giant animals that are running around, at least especially the predatorial dinosaurs, I think would either be hunted to extinction or adapted into becoming service animals of some type.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is the same direction that dogs and the like, and horses and cows and such turned in the unnatural evolution of their species. So I think you'd have some dinosaurs that would be ridden like horses.
Oh, definitely.
Which
would be so fun.
So much fun. I want to ride a dinosaur.
I really do.
So imagine just like a one of the long. I know Brontosaurus isn't actually a thing anymore. That's done.
What?
Yeah, I think it's Brontosaurus that. It's actually two different dinosaurs that the skeletons got combined together on accident.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I swear I learned something new on this podcast every time. So I think we should put ourselves under the educational category. What say you?
We're learning some people good.
Yeah.
That Santa likes to sniff underwear.
Yeah. I feel like we all knew that in our heart, though.
And just like we know that Krampus can sling that dick well.
Absolutely.
Those are two absolute truths in this world.
Yeah, exactly. Those feel so right to me that I truly have no qualms. Like, I don't even have to think about them for another second. They just exist.
So this Christmas holiday, instead of cookies on that plate, just a used pair of panties.
Santa's going to be thrilled.
So thrilled.
You're getting an extra PlayStation for sure.
You're like, I didn't even ask for a PlayStation. I don't have a TV. And then you'll look over and there'll be a TV next to the tree.
Exactly.
Also. So
I'm trying it out this year.
Yeah, I think you should.
I think I will.
All right. So dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaurs. Uh-huh.
I also think you're going to get like T-Rexes that are much smaller in size that are going to be used as like dogs are used. Maybe even some are used to ride as well, because how cool would it be to be on this maybe 6 foot tall T-Rex?
True.
Just tromping around with a little saddle.
True. But I think what we really need to get into is Will asked us what horrifying and gross adaptations this would have created. I need something a lot more horrifying than we just ride them around.
I think you're going to get some dinosaurs that develop different types of, say, beaks
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And not so much beaks as we know them to be for birds, because, there is that theory that dinosaurs come from birds.
Right.
I think it's more like duckbill platypus style beak, mainly so that they can, because they're larger, open up the trash cans with the flap lids, the lids that close. So that beak, it just opens up its mouth and it can just completely open up the bin and then slide its head in there.
Like the bin chicken.
Like the bin chicken.
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So you're going to have a T-Rex with a duckbill mouth.
Oh, I love that.
You're also, the bigger the animal, the more tired it can get quicker. It requires more calories.
Right.
And so you're going to have to reduce the size of some of these dinosaurs in order for them to survive, just based on the amount of space that man is taking up. So you're, of course, going to get in like Africa and more the plain-centric areas of the world, you're going to have the bigger dinosaurs that are going to be right there with the elephants and the rhinos and all the other bigger animals. But in the more industrialized areas, you are going to have some triceratopses the size of raccoons that are going around. And because they have to fit into their scavengers, their horns, I think, are going to end up going away because they are going to get caught on fencing. They're, the shorter horned triceratopses are going to just survive better.
Right.
So you're going to have these 3 little stumps on the front of the triceratops.
I feel like we would domesticate them 100%.
100%.
Or they'd be like a teacup pig situation where you'd have like a tiny little triceratops and people will be like, that those are going to grow bigger, right? What are you going to do when you have a full-size triceratops in your house? And you're like, I feel like that's exactly what would happen.
Yep. So yeah, the triceratops will be the new piggy.
And we would have to be able to communicate with them. And so probably our best bet, if they don't respond to like commands, would be like a sign language thing, like people say to do with your dog, because apparently they respond better to sign language sometimes than like verbal cues. So I feel like that would also be kind of highly adorable to have like us doing dog sign language to dinosaurs and having like these giant creatures rolling over and shit.
I also think there's flying dinosaurs as well.
Yes.
That have to be considered. And a lot of those dinosaurs, their claw length is relatively long, which is going to make it hard to stand on ledges of buildings and such. So I feel like there will be some sort of like shorter footed with maybe like a little lip on their feet so they can just kind of attach to the sides of buildings a little bit better.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Prehensile toes, maybe.
And very off-putting.
Could you imagine just toes that can like curl around stuff and like a tail?
Yeah.
Just 5 little tails on each foot.
On the side of a building?
On the side of a building.
That'd be fucking terrifying.
It'd be like some weird Lovecraftian monster.
Yep. Well, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I would love to grow up amongst the dinosaurs.
Imagine you're in Central Park walking your dog and you hear like that screech. Like
I thought you were going to do it. I really thought you were going to do it. Oh, wow. Okay.
That's how pterodactyls. And then you come down and like little talon covered tentacles comes down and your little Fido just snapped up into the weird tentacly clutches of this Lovecraft monster that soars off into the sky.
Oh, God. See, here's the problem. So here's what I would dread about this whole situation. Is that then there would be people who, like, enough people got their dogs snatched, like you said, that would be like, we need to do something about these dinosaurs. And then there would be like dinosaur, like humanitarian type groups.
Oh, no.
And then they would be fighting all the time. God, what a nightmare.
Also, there would be just like little, like Shih Tzu sized dogs, carcasses on like ledges of buildings around town.
True.
Just like this rotting corpse of like a dog on the 25th floor of a building.
Yeah, that's true. That would be happening. We would just have to really come to terms with that.
And also, could you imagine the shits that they're taking as they're like flying over, say, New York City?
True.
And just it completely covers your entire windshield.
Oh my God. Or your entire body.
Your entire body.
Oh, man. We thought getting shit on by a bird was bad.
You've got this promising job coming up. You're excited because it's exactly in the industry you've been trying to get into for years. You've been with your wife, like really struggling to get by. It's been really hard times. And this is your opening. This is a chance to turn everything around. And, you know, it's going to be a total game changer for you, life changer.
Yeah.
And maybe at that point you can move into a bigger place because it's just gotten too small with the newborn.
Oh.
And you're really hoping that it's going to go your way.
Oh, I'm so
and just
invested.
as you're walking into the building or just about to walk into the building, you hear just this like whooshing noise. And then like a person at the bottom of the building in Ghostbusters that's covered by the goo from the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You're just doused in dinosaur shit.
Oh my God. That is so tragic.
And you don't have any time to return home.
That sounds so awful.
Yeah.
I'm really upset for them. They don't deserve that.
They don't. They're doing the best they can under the circumstances.
You would truly have to walk around everywhere with like an industrial strength umbrella. Umbrella sales would be through the fucking roof.
That's true. You'd have
like
to come
a
around
giant umbrella
with heavy steel reinforcement on it.
Oh my God. Imagine the commercials for the like shit-proof umbrellas. Would be incredible. It would be like those weird pad commercials where they pour like the blue Kool-Aid all over the pad. Why? Never understood that one. It would be something like that. They would have to like get the correct heft of a standard dinosaur
There'd be
shit.
different levels of, depending on where you live. Like small towns, you just like your basic poo repellent parasol,
right?
The 3P. And in the cities where you're gonna get more pterodactyls and like you need something a little bit heavier duty, and that's where you go into the higher end stuff. Maybe something that attaches to a belt because it's relatively heavy and you don't want to be carting it around all day. So there's just like belt with the little piece in it that the fishing pole goes into, but it's for an umbrella.
Nice.
Just so you can cart it around.
Yeah, raincoats would be very, very popular all the time.
Very popular.
And ponchos would be very popular. The sales would be amazing. So yeah, basically fashion would change a lot.
Fashion would change due to...
evolve in horrifying ways due to mainly dinosaur shit issues.
Tentacle-toed pterodactyls.
Wow, that's a tongue twister from hell, honestly.
There's a number of ways the dinosaurs are going to change, but I think we're going to ride them, eat them, or protect ourselves from their shit. I think it's the main focus is there.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Okay, cool. The next one, we're getting into the holiday spirit now.
All right.
With these next questions.
We started with dinosaurs and we're going into Christmas.
Never mad about dinosaurs. And it is funny that we have a question from Murphy and it's not the dinosaur question.
I know. That's wild.
So I'm excited to get into Murphy's question, which is, actually, that's coming up in a little bit. I have a question for you.
You're really making it just exciting stuff
building
today.
the
I
tension.
know. Ooh.
First, I've got a question for you.
I know. I'm excited.
Because in your world, you have murdered Santa, right?
Yes, I have.
Santa has been murdered.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Mm-hmm. So now it is your responsibility to help rebrand Christmas.
Sure.
Santa's dead. Mm-hmm. And you're in charge of picking the new Christmas icon that's going to be replacing Santa.
Love it.
Who or what is the new Christmas gift giving icon and their backstory as well?
I have chosen someone that already exists. And I honestly think that people will be thrilled with my choice.
Okay.
Because I would assume that if someone takes over the Santa role, this does make them immortal, right?
Sure.
Like now they're Santa forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to pick someone who everyone knows and loves. No one wants them to die. And they are like the most generous person in the world. So the new Santa is Dolly Parton.
Wow.
And I love that for all of us.
I like that. I had a similar approach. I didn't pick Dolly.
Really?
Although I'm super on board with Dolly being the new Santa.
She's
perfect.
so generous already. She's given the world so much.
And she would do like the teasing Santa kind of thing more. So she'd be more playful with it, where she would come down the chimney and there'd be the wide-eyed kid near the Christmas tree that's excited because, Dolly Santa Parton.
We'll work on it. Yeah, we'll get there.
Is in the house and has gifts and everything, and it's been a really hard year. It's the same family that gets shit on.
Right.
The dad got shit on from the pterodactyl.
Did he find another job?
He found another job, but he's like working really long hours, and so he's not home as much. And this little man has to kind of be a little bit more of a man around the house, help with dinners, help cleaning, just because, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And then there's Dolly Parton.
Oh.
And she knows all the ebbs and flows of this family and what they've been through, and says, well, come on and sit on my lap. Sit on Dolly Parton's lap. And he sits down and tells his story. And she's like, you're a really brave little kid, and I'm really proud of you. It's a shame that all I got for you is this brand new house, and your dad has a job with me working at the factory, and like he can telecommute so he can be with you more. And then the kid's just like weeping. And then Dolly's like really grossed out by crying kids, so she leaves.
No, she wouldn't
That's
be.
not true at all.
No,
Dolly
she
is
wouldn't
super on
be.
board.
Stop.
Yeah.
Don't say that about her. But also how fun too, because she would definitely make jokes, we all know, about how we all need to get like bigger chimneys because she needs like her boobs to fit down.
Sure.
And what a delight.
Absolutely.
We all get to deal with that every year.
We get to jokingly talk about basically Santa's breasts.
Yeah, exactly. They're amazing.
Yeah, and everybody knows. And I mean, somewhat in a sexual way, but also in just a non-sexual way. It's just that there's so much joy that those breasts bring to the world.
They're just iconic.
They are.
They're
very much.
iconic breasts. We could all be so lucky. That's all I really want, is for my breasts to be iconic, but I'm not quite there yet. The generosity, that would also be nice, but the iconic breast thing is really
what you're
important
aiming
for me.
Yeah,
I'm working on it. Every day is a new journey. But wouldn't that just be so wonderful?
With her boobs full of jelly, right?
Her boobs would be full of jelly.
That's true.
And you would hear the click, click, clack of little stilettos on your roof. Oh my God. What an absolute dream.
Need to will this into existence.
I know.
I feel like they can actually, my version and your version would coexist relatively well. Maybe have like different territories or just switch up every other year.
Oh, okay. Tell
Give
me.
themselves a break, because Dolly's back has got to hurt after a Christmas.
Oh, definitely.
And so just having somebody to pick up the slack and be like, I got next year, and then we'll just do every other one would be helpful. And I feel it would be in a similar spirit, but a very different approach on how they would Christmas is, then that's why I said very kind of similar approach.
Okay.
Somebody that like is adored, everybody knows, and you'd be super stoked for them to show up and be like, here's some shit that you're going to love, is motherfucking Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, God, yes, absolutely.
And the difference between her and Dolly is how she would deliver presents, because she wouldn't be the like, don't come downstairs and see me or you don't get presents. She'd be like, no, fuck no. She'd go into the room of the kids and be like, wake up.
I want to see your face.
Exciting shit to show you. Look under your beds. It's a brand new toy truck. Ah! And the kids would get hyped as shit. They'd be just like screaming and crying.
Oh my God, that would be so amazing. Especially like Dolly would give you what you need. Oprah would give you what you never knew you needed.
Yeah.
And now your life is different now.
Well, and Dolly would have some like sage advice that she'd throw out, just like 2 lines of something that you just like run through your head, and you're like 30 being like, all it takes is a belief in yourself, and you're like, holy shit, Dolly, changed my world, and give you like this really thoughtful hug, and then just like disappear and give you like a really cool thing that's insightful and thoughtful.
Yeah.
And Oprah, she would just be like that, like the drunk girl in the bathroom kind of amount of like energy of just 100%. Like, you're the fucking best, your family's the best, everything's awesome, here's this rad shit, peace. And then just like float out the chimney like backwards, just like looking at you the whole time, throwing peace signs
Exactly. Up. Where she'd show up and she'd be like, you get a sweater. And you're like, oh, wow, thank you. And then she's like, haha, it's made out of diamonds. And you're like, yes. That's exactly what I wanted. And so then you know who's been good and who's been bad, because they're walking down the street in their fucking diamond sweater. And you're like, you got a visit from Oprah, didn't you? But I think you're right. I really actually like your idea about switching back and forth. Because like I said, they're giving out 2 different types of presents.
Sure.
So it'll be good to like balance it out. Plus, yes, Dolly's back hurts, I'm sure, from carrying the gift of songwriting on her shoulders all these years.
Sure.
And also,
that's what it is.
That is true though. She is. Anyways, I'm going to go on about Dolly.
I do like the name of this episode possibly being Dolly Parton's Sore Back. That's.
Yes. I love that. But yeah, I think that's a perfect strategy. I think we would all be so excited, and you'd have to be like, oh shoot, which Christmas is it this year? Oprah or Dolly? Oh, Dolly. Okay, good. Because I actually do need a working car. And Oprah was going to give me like a chinchilla. So this works better for me.
And Dolly like shows up in like overalls and that like can do like Southern spirit, and doesn't like get you a new car.
No,
like you hear clanking around and she's in front of your house with the hood up, overalls covered in grease, and be like, I got it running. You do need some new tires, darling. And I threw a gift card from AutoZone in the glove box. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. But I got it running. You got at least a good 6 months on it before you got to worry about it. So you just hang on, because if you can make it that second 6 months, you got Oprah next year.
Right. You know? Okay, get in the zone. She just click-clacks away at her stilettos.
You see that there's an AutoZone patch on the back of the overalls. Like, is she sponsored now?
Sponsor AutoZone is like, I cannot believe we got Dolly.
Right.
How did we do that? And AutoZone's like, it's okay. We couldn't have gotten Oprah. She's sponsored by like Cartier.
Right.
That's clearly what was going to happen.
I think this is perfect. There's going to be, and the thing is that like Oprah and Dolly, they're just like way too sweet to ever have any kind of weird competition with each other.
Yeah, no beef.
No beef whatsoever. People will start being like, who's better, Oprah or Dolly? And they'll be the ones coming out like commercials before the holidays, like hugging each other, being like, now, we love each other and you shall love each other too. And Oprah will be like, that's right. And you know what you have is a diamond heart under your seat.
Exactly.
Like, how did she sneak in while I was watching this commercial?
Exactly. And Oprah's like, don't say anything about Dolly. I need a break. I'm going off to a desert island with, oh shit. What's her like husband that she definitely does not love? What's his name again?
Stefan or
fuck. They're living an incredible life. He lives like in a mansion in her backyard. It's basically like a guest mansion.
Yeah.
It's incredible. God damn it. Now Stedman. There we go.
Correct.
Stedman.
Yes.
She's like, I need some time with Stedman. And don't you say anything about Dolly. And Dolly's like, 'cause I'll know. And it'll just be like such a fucking delightful holiday season. And see, now everybody who was mad at me at the top of the show, you're eating your words, aren't you? Because you're now wishing that Santa was dead.
You're getting letters written to you thanking you for murdering old Santa.
You're welcome.
To make room for the Wonder Twins of Christmas, Oprah Winfrey and Dolly Parton.
Yep. See, the only people that are mad are the Santa fetishists, but that's okay. We're never going to see eye to eye.
And then we can just branch out from there and just have like the most amazing women in the world kind of like taking over holidays.
Exactly.
And then you got Dolly Parton being like, now y'all settle down. It's not Christmas just yet. You got Halloween before that. Isn't that right, Elvira? And then Elvira's like, I was made for this. And she's like, I've got candy and my own titties. You know,
oh my God.
Absolutely perfect.
Wow. I need that. Who do you think the Thanksgiving incredible female icon should be?
You need somebody that's got a little bit more of that like grit, you know, that can really handle like getting down and dirty, hunting turkey.
Whoa. Okay.
But also like cooking over a fire or in the kitchen, like can do it all.
Gotcha.
And that's tough.
That is tough.
That is really tough. Fuck the Pioneer Woman.
I knew you were going to say that because I almost said the Pioneer Woman. Then I forgot you have a weird vendetta against her.
I'm not a vendetta. It's just that it's bullshit.
Why is it bullshit? I want to know. I actually don't know this. I feel like this is the time to address this problem.
I don't have any like fucking like insight here that I'm sharing. It's just that the Pioneer Woman, just like, I don't know, like Rachel Ray or something. There's a recipe.
Fuck Rachel Ray.
No, but
though.
also that's the same. I put it in the same boat, except Pioneer Woman. It comes off as this like down home. No, it's just somebody has recipes and like quirky things that women that married rich men, you know, can look at and be like, oh, isn't that adorable?
Right.
And that's all it is.
Right.
It's not actually a Pioneer Woman. It's just like, this is how you cut down a tree to craft new salt shakers for your, you know, there's nothing.
Yeah, I don't think
I
don't think any of the Food Network women could be the Thanksgiving person.
No.
Unfortunately.
You could get a little bit like hardcore and Martha Stewart that bitch.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think that's it. That's the move.
Okay, no. Yeah. I was going to say, I like our strong women idea, even though I was going to say that Martha and Snoop could do it together. But that's fine. Martha by herself. I feel like she's absorbed a lot of Snoop on her own now.
Snoop gets Earth Day.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Like, yeah.
He's the one man that gets a holiday.
Right.
One man deserves rights, and it's Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg shows up like on Thanksgiving, be like, before you eat Martha's cooking, head out to the shed with your cousin.
Yep, take a walk. Oh my God, best Thanksgiving ever. See, I'm not a holiday person. I'm not like a big holiday season. I'm kind of a Grinch, if you will. But this is getting me fucking juiced. I want this for myself.
I really want this.
I want Christmas Dolly and Christmas Oprah. Santa is played out.
Well, and Christmas is the biggest holiday, arguably, of the year.
Exactly.
It's the most time and energy and money that goes into it. So you got to kind of double down. It took how many hundreds of years for Santa to get replaced because he met someone that didn't want to fuck him.
Right.
And so he got murdered instead.
Exactly.
And to replace, you'd need two people and even people of the level of Dolly and Oprah.
Right.
To kind of fill those boots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those high-heeled boots.
Yes.
Oprah's, though, have an insole
Sure.
because she's still trying to be smart and she has some like back issues. Dolly doesn't give a fuck. She's invincible. I feel like she's part robot or something. She's incredible. And also, while we're here, I am not Jewish, so I obviously can't make any sort of grandiose, like sweeping statements. But I'm going to throw, for our Hanukkah sponsor, I'm going to throw Fran Drescher's hat in the ring. I feel like that would really be an exciting time for all of us.
There are so many wonderful Jewish women in the world,
including Fran Drescher.
No, but that's the one you settle on, as Fran Drescher as the like representative of Hanukkah.
I love her. And I feel like she would just really get the party going all nights of Hanukkah. She would keep it alive.
See, it's a tough call because on one end there's so many amazing like female Jewish entertainers.
Yeah, of course.
But also, I was thinking just like offhand, Sarah Silverman.
Right.
But also, how much of a representative of Hanukkah would Sarah Silverman want to be?
Right. Exactly.
Is she cool? She's probably cool celebrating, like having some partying going on with Hanukkah. But as far as like being the person that's like got a job to do every Hanukkah,
right?
Maybe not her bag.
Plus, I feel like by at least like day 4 or something, she'd be like, I am so tired of this. Whereas Fran Drescher, she could have gone for 18 days. Like she's got the energy to just go.
Okay. All right.
She's our energetic Hanukkah queen and I love her.
Okay, so we've got Hanukkah, we've got Christmas, we've got Thanksgiving.
We've got Halloween.
Do we have a Kwanzaa?
Oh.
That's a tough one. I mean...
But also, don't you want someone that, like, celebrates Kwanzaa? Because that's where I'm running into things. I have no idea who celebrates Kwanzaa.
I don't either, yeah.
Whereas I know that Dolly and Oprah celebrate Christmas and that Fran celebrates Hanukkah.
Okay, so we're going to have to do some research and come back on a later episode.
Come back with our Kwanzaa queen.
I just randomly want to say Regina King, like being like the
you
head
just want her to be in charge of anything.
I hope she does celebrate Kwanzaa so that she can just be in charge of it. Like,
I hope so too.
I love her so much.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
I would really be happy about that.
Yeah.
It would make me, we should probably do some research into Kwanzaa so we know what our sponsor should be like.
Yeah, big surprise that 2 extremely white people
Spoiler alert,
are
if you don't know
a little bit
us,
lacking on our knowledge
we're
of
a little
Kwanzaa.
bit white.
Little white.
Just a little bit white. All right, well, this has been incredible. So let's move on to the next question.
I feel this, there's a lot of Santa-centric stuff that's happening here. So
there is.
Maybe this is also something that you knew, which is why you decided to murder Santa in the first place, comes on this next question.
That's very true. That's very true. And this comes from the absolutely incredible mind of Murphy Lawless, friend of everyone in the entire world is obsessed with them.
They themselves need to get their own holiday.
Honestly?
Yeah.
I would love that. And I'm going to say, okay, here's my suggestion for the Murphy sponsored holiday. I think that Elvira has her hands full with Halloween. Love that. Love that for her. Murphy could have Devil's Night. Devil's Night sponsor. Making sure that things are, wild and crazy.
Prepped and ready to roll.
But also, nothing horrific is happening. Just kind of like moderating the whole situation. That like there's mischief and trouble.
It's like fun mischief.
Yeah, fun mischief.
It's not like scary, upsetting
not as much
mischief.
with the murders, probably in
murders
real
and
life.
setting fires to buildings and
we
stuff.
can all
maybe
tell
not.
stories about the murders, but like maybe no murders, And I feel like Murphy could easily be like, all right, everybody, no murders.
It's like stuff, more hijinky stuff.
Yeah, hijinks. We want hijinks.
Yeah.
And like sexy stuff, like sexy Devil's Night, not like murder.
I am down for a sexy hijinks Devil Night.
Me too.
That's great.
Okay, so I don't know if Murphy's going to humbly accept this. I'm hoping that everyone we've sponsored so far will accept our roles. So, get back to us, Oprah. Get back to us, Snoop Dogg. Get back to us, Murphy. You're all very, high profile. Just let us know at your leisure.
Sure.
So anyways, Murphy asked this question. You are sitting on Santa's lap and suddenly he mutates into his true form. What is the worst case holly jolly scenario? A Chris Thingle, if you will.
It's so brilliant. I love Chris Thingle.
So much.
It's so perfect.
So much.
So my mind with Chris Thingle immediately goes into like Lovecraft country of it being this like unspeakable like thing with thousands of eyes and tentacles that comes out of Chris Kringle. But I feel like that's a little too basic.
Right.
for Kris Kringle.
Right.
He did something a little bit worse than that. So do you have any thoughts on the matter? Because I'm still working on my Kris Thingle.
I feel like the worst case scenario, in my opinion, for Santa at this point, because, we all know that the children come and like sit on Santa's lap and that whole thing, and they like whisper in his ear and stuff like that. So I feel like worst case scenario would be that he is actually a pervert or like a pedophile of some sort.
No,
that would be the worst.
Santa would be the worst.
That was my worst case scenario. I'd rather have like the fucking Lovecraft million eyes than pedophile Santa.
Yeah, that's really rough.
But again, luckily I murdered him, so we don't have to worry about such things.
So if like Santa is secretly like Freddy Krueger and like molests and murders children,
yes,
then that would be bad.
That would probably be bad. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like that's not really like an edgy opinion to have, is that Santa molesting and murdering children is bad. I feel like that's...
I never claimed to be edgy.
That's a pretty safe cliff to be on there.
I feel that way.
That hill feels pretty sturdy that you're on there.
I feel confident where I am, yeah.
All right, so I feel like maybe the worst that Santa could morph into that's appropriate thematically with Santa is he moved into like a really talented but really scummy used car salesman.
Oh, no.
Where like he's convincing you the presents that you're getting are the ones that you really want, even though you've never thought before that you really want a cheese grater.
Right.
Like, you're like, I'm 8.
Right.
And I'm lactose intolerant.
Right.
This is not at all what I want. And salesperson Santa is just like, you haven't seen the features yet.
Right.
There are 4 different sides of this with 4 different size shredding options. And just really sells the shit out of it.
Yes.
In a way that is not helpful. It's not stuff that it's not Santa considering what you need.
Right.
And delivering the best options for you. It's more like, this is what I have, and I'm going to convince you that this is what you need kind of attitude. So kids are getting lumps of coal, and they're like really stoked about it until they get the buyer's remorse later.
Right.
After Santa's already gone, be like, this is coal. This is one piece of coal. I can't even start up the barbecue pit.
Damn. That is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But good for him for like evolving all these years to become good at like, grifting. Basically.
Well, it's after everybody's started boycotting Wayfair furniture, and that's when he just got an influx of in the North Pole, and it's just all these like hastily thrown together pieces of furniture. And he's like, fuck, I gotta offload this now. It's just like all the themed food items from celebrities that ended up in Big Lots, and they don't even want it anymore. It's just like the Guy Fieri macaroni and cheese, and it's like the
gotta pick that up soon.
The Gummy Bears brand like juice boxes and like the 90s cartoon gummy bears. Yeah, like it doesn't have an expiration date. It's been on the shelf since the 1990s. It's still fun.
Man, I've got to get to a Marshall's and pick up some of these. Right? That's amazing. But yeah, I would love that. I would love, in my mind's eye, I'm just watching Santa grift a child into thinking that a shittily put together Wayfair armoire is really the armoire from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Right?
And he's like describing Mr. Tumnus to this poor child.
It's like a little kid that's really into the movie Ratatouille, and it's like, you got to start with a slap chop, and just hands him that.
He's just like, okay, so once you get in the wardrobe, you have to really believe, and then you'll see them. Do you think that you could really believe? And the kid's like, yeah. And then they just think that they didn't believe hard enough for their entire lives.
And now the kid is scarred. Thinking that the only thing standing in the way between them and a magical life full of excitement and adventure is literally just being really shitty at believing.
Yep. Terrible.
Oh, man. Grifter Santa's the worst.
He is the worst.
He's the fucking worst.
Such an asshole.
Oh, my God. Who put him in charge?
I know. It could have been Dolly this whole time.
It could have been Dolly, but instead we've got like the, CEO's really shitty cousin grifter version of Santa.
And see, this is how like mediocre white men continue excelling. We've got grifter Santa when we could have actual Earth Angel Dolly Parton.
Angel, come to Earth to spread joy, love, and understanding to everyone in the world. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, actual living saint.
Yep. And we've got mediocre white guy Santa.
We've got mediocre unbuttoned shirt, gold chain wearing.
Oh, shit.
hairy knuckled, ring covered, really enjoys Survivor for some reason.
Oh no.
And talks about it at length.
Oh no.
Like in a way that doesn't even recognize that you say, I haven't watched it. And then they start talking about the characters anyway. Like you have any frame of reference that the character from season 3 that came back for like a special Survivor, like celebrity edition version, and just talks about it like you know. And you're like, the whole time, I don't know anything about, like, this doesn't matter to me in the least.
And then finally he gets frustrated enough that he's like, oh, okay. God, you're such a Kimberly. And you're like, I don't know who that is.
Grifter Santa, Jesus.
And your fake gold chain is turning your chest green.
Oh,
and I keep looking at
just
it.
this weird, vague line of green on their chest that's just permanently there from the shoddily put together gold chain that you now have 5 of. You've gotten 1 new gold chain every year for the last 5 years. And for some reason, you thought it was a great idea. Every time you're getting this new gold chain and going, oh, sweet, finally, a good gold chain.
Nope.
You're looking like Mr. T with 5 gold chains on now.
What do you think Santa's gold chain would say?
Would it be like engraved, or would it be like letters hanging down?
The letters.
The letters hanging down?
Yeah. Like a big, letters.
Jolly. Or maybe like self-congratulatory, just Kringle.
Oh, sure.
Kringle on there would be good. Yeah,
that's a good one. Ooh, trying to think. What's like the douchiest Bible verse? Because I feel like that is what he would have as a gold chain.
There isn't like Jesus broed out. Like,
and then Jesus said, pass me a monster. And it was good.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know exactly where I was going with that, but I was trying to think if there was one like super self-congratulatory one. That would be Santa's gold chain.
The buddy Jesus from Dogma of Christmas kind of vibe going on, where there's Christmas, but it's like douchey Santa Christmas kind of thing going.
Yep. Exactly. Okay, what would you want your gold chain
Maybe
to
ho
say?
ho ho bitches.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Just go straight to the point.
Yeah. Absolutely. Where my ho ho hos.
Where my ho ho hos.
That's always good.
Something that your
Solid.
alcoholic uncle like would wear to Christmas dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're Grifta Santa in here, so it's just like there's no real artistry to their choices here.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What would you want your gold chain that Grifter Santa brought you every year to say?
I think try roasting these chestnuts, and then like an arrow pointing down.
That's what you would want your gold chain to say?
So I could have a reason to like grab my nuts like Beetlejuice does when he says nice fucking model.
Wow.
And just, like, fully just shake them at people.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's my dream, really.
Yeah.
Have a reason to shake my nuts at people.
God.
I'm not a monster. I'm not going to do it without any cue. You know, like I need something to kind of like motivate that action to happen.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel if I had that chain, I'd be like, and I wait for them to read it, and then there we go, the nut jiggle.
Oh no.
Yeah, ready to go.
Oh God. I couldn't spend any time with you.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're trying to get rid of me.
No, that's not a bonus. I'm saying is that I would be spending so much time jiggling my nuts at people that I wouldn't be a good partner at that point anyway.
No,
so.
and I don't think you'd be able to be a father because you would just destroy your balls. After so many years of jiggling, you're definitely going to like compromise your sack.
Or if a kid is born, it's just dizzy all the time. Just constantly like you just spun around in circles for 5 minutes and then stopped. That's the kid at all times. Inner ear issue.
Oh, yeah.
Just unable to stand up for any length of time without holding a wall.
Wait, terrible grifter Jesus, his gold chain definitively says, look for a present in my sack.
Yes, definitely.
100%. And then he jiggles his balls at people.
He definitely does.
So that's the company that you're keeping.
He has one like the Santa pants, but it's actually like that underwear where there's like more cloth to like surround the balls and dick. Like it's like a separate pouch that it goes into so that it's accentuated.
Right.
That's just his pants are like that.
No.
So there's just like Santa pouch just right there.
No, I feel like he's wearing those gray dick sweatpants, like just letting his dick flop around.
He's definitely like stained gray Costco sweatpants with the elastic at the bottom.
Yeah.
He just does not give a shit at all.
And we're like, you're a little out of the age range for us all wanting to see your dick flop around. Like, more power to you. Like, no body shaming, but also like some body shaming. A little bit.
He's got like the Santa suit top, but it's like unbuttoned, and he's got like a Dirty Dick's Crab Shack t-shirt underneath it, or like a 1990s Tasmanian Devil Bugs Bunny B-boy stance sweatshirt underneath it.
Yep.
Because the North Pole is cold.
Right.
So so they got to bundle up.
Of course.
Yeah.
God, I hate Grifter Santa.
Grifter Santa's the worst.
He's the worst. So basically, we've decided that Santa's the worst.
Santa is the fucking worst, and Christmas would be so much better off without him.
I mean, apparently.
So
yeah, that's what we found.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Santa's either a pedophile and or a grifter.
Right.
And he's better off dead, which thank you for that. And Dolly Parton and Oprah Winfrey will save Christmas.
I think they really will.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think they would even change the Grinch over.
Wow.
I do. I believe it.
You're like, look under your chair. It's a heart that's 3 sizes bigger. Wow.
And it fits.
It fits in your chest.
Aw, that'd be amazing.
Dolly's like, that is so sweet.
I would love to see it, honestly.
Grinch looks like he probably plays banjo. He would end up just doing a duet with Dolly after all said and done on like the end of Christmas.
I need to know what the logic is behind the Grinch looks like he plays banjo.
There's no reasoning behind that except he just looks like a dude that knows how to play a little, like do a little finger picking. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I never thought of it, but I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that is not me talking shit either. Like banjo playing is actually requires a decent amount of talent. That wasn't like probably a guy that plays the banjo. Isn't like a shit on thing. That was just, I don't know. I think I've always just assumed that the Grinch plays banjo.
Huh.
That's weird. That's a weird thing to realize about yourself.
It's unique for sure.
Okay,
yeah, but
all right.
I'm not mad at it per se.
No, and it's not meant to be like a diss.
No, not a diss. I mean, I can see it. I just have questions, you know? And I don't think the questions have answers.
A cartoon character, so of course he like picks to a point where there's like smoke coming off of his fingers as he's playing, and
yep.
Yeah. So
okay, good for Banjo Grinch.
Yep.
That's great. Maybe nobody's ever complimented his banjo playing, and that's why he's so bitter.
He's like, I've worked so hard at being the best banjo player I can be, and no one even appreciates it.
And he's asked for like a better banjo for years, but fucking Grifter Santa.
Right? Just keeps like ignoring his pleas and being like, here's a ukulele. And he's like, this has plastic. This is plastic. This is like a toy store ukulele. This is bullshit.
Grifter Santa's already like on the way out the door drinking straight out of the bottle.
Right? Just the Jack Daniels eggnog.
Yep.
Throwing it back.
Lukewarm.
Grinch just looks over at a picture of him and Steve Martin when they were on tour back in the college days playing banjo together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be bitter too if I lost my connects to Steve Martin.
No shit.
That's someone I'd like to keep around for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we have one more question.
We do, yes.
Yeah. And I believe I'm the one asking this question.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think you got the last one.
I did.
Yeah. So I'm going to paraphrase because we do not have the card. So nice. Our friend Katie from nerdcropolis.com, the podcast and microblog site for all things horror. We adore her.
Oh my God. Absolute earth angel, akin to Dolly Parton.
Wow, that is high praise.
It is.
But I can't say that I disagree.
And I'm pretty sure Katie is a big Dolly fan, so if she hears this, she'll probably be pretty psyched about
Excellent.
it.
The best gift that she could have given us is her friendship.
Oh, truly.
But did one better and stopped by today with some little bottles of booze and a nice little card and some other things, some nice things.
Little treats.
And the question at hand is relating to the recent election and also the holidays as well.
Yes, exactly.
Is wondering who Santa would have voted for in this election, whether it be Trump or Biden or a dark horse candidate, some sort of third party candidate. Do we think that Santa would have voted for?
Well, okay. I'm going to answer for traditional Santa, not grifter Santa.
Okay.
Grifter Santa voted for Donald Trump 100%.
Definitely 100%.
Like 100 million %.
And he's still complaining about all the missing votes in Arizona right now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he's like constantly bitching about stuff that is a Trump policy, but he doesn't think it is. He just thinks that it's like bad luck or whatever, but it's absolutely been put in place by Donald Trump himself.
He's pissed because he like gave a bunch of New Jersey people bump stocks. And then he thinks that it was the Democrats that took that away when it was actually Donald Trump.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones saying that, people need to read the impeachment articles to see why Donald Trump didn't deserve it, but he has not himself read them.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's a grifter Santa. Regular Santa, as actually already previously mentioned on this episode, is definitely a socialist.
Yeah, right.
So he wrote in Bernie.
He wrote in Bernie?
Yeah. He wrote in Bernie / AOC, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. Because he wanted them to like be a duo. So it was pretty disappointing, actually, that we ended up with like a centrist candidate like Joe Biden. But, he wrote it in. He kind of felt like the North Pole is usually blue. Get it? Because it's so cold.
Yeah,
Oh, God,
I get
myself.
it. But also, additionally, it does make sense that Santa would be really concerned about global warming, living
true.
in the Arctic Circle that itself is just ice. It's
Right, you
not
can see
actually
it
a landmass.
melting. Yeah.
So as the ice gets thinner, so comes closer the opportunity for his home
Yeah.
to sink into the freezing cold ocean.
And the factory with all of our toys.
Yeah.
Oh, what a nightmare.
So for the sake of Christmas itself, Santa would be really pushing progressive environmental policies, the Green New Deal, as it were.
Exactly. Yeah. He read that book, The Uninhabitable Earth. And now he's like completely changed. And like he stopped drinking almond milk because it's not that good for the environment.
And yeah, he not only helped Al Gore create the internet, but he then also was the director of photography on An Inconvenient Truth.
Wow.
Yeah, little known fact, actually.
I did not know that.
He went by Christopher Kringle in the credits.
With the accent over
with the
the E?
accent, just to kind of, play it a little bit chill.
Yeah, I had no idea. I feel like I really should have seen right through
He
that.
didn't want to detract from the focus of
of
the
course,
film.
Of course. He's not like a showboat, except for the one night a year where he's the biggest showboat of all time. Not for nothing. So yeah, that's what I think.
So yeah, he was was really pushing for a Green Party candidate or a more socialist leaning, environmentally sensitive candidate as a write-in. Okay,
exactly.
I can see that for Santa.
He's fine with the way that the election turned out because he's like not a Trump guy. But he's just has a few qualms with the way that things are going, and he hopes that somehow this will like lead us into a more socialist direction in the future. He's like keeping an eye on AOC and Bernie because Bernie is fucking ancient.
I mean, Santa's not like hardline. He's not out there like ho ho ho, eat the rich. He's not going full gritty style with it.
I don't know. I feel like he might be actually. He's
the
giving
dude that
toys
gives
to
out
everyone that's good.
expensive toys to everyone is anti-capitalism and
Because
anti-consumerism.
Well, it's based on how good they are as a person, not how much money they make.
I would say at very best, I wouldn't say full communist for Santa, maybe an anarcho-capitalist.
Okay.
But so maybe a little eat the rich, but more
a little.
Yeah, but not full on gritty.
No,
levels.
not gritty.
No.
But he secretly kind of likes gritty.
No, like he's into the gritty thing.
Yeah.
But it's more that like, that's a little much for me, but like I like where your head's at.
Exactly.
Attitude.
Where your terrifying orange head is at.
Exactly.
I think that's a great note to end on. Gritty is always the perfect note to end on.
I also agree with that. Yes. That terrifying orange monstrosity.
So I hope this episode just like really got you in the holiday spirit. It's been extremely festive.
Very festive. And we learned some really important information about Santa and our future Christmas overlords, Oprah Winfrey and Dolly Parton.
I'm just saying we have options and it's about time we explore them because we've had this whole Santa thing. It's tired, right? Like, let's go into the future. We have a female vice president now. We could also have, a female Santa.
What's the meme? This is the future that liberals want.
Exactly. Oh, it really, I would say that this is the future that liberals want and they're into it. If you are a fan of the show and you're looking for some nice little presents, you can buy our merch. It is available on our TeePublic page, guipodcast.com/store, and the proceeds are still being donated to the Holly Fund, which is helping out Richmond restaurants during the pandemic. Also, they are still doing the deal where if you buy a mask with one of our logos on it or any other mask from TeePublic, they are also donating actual PPE masks to a hospital worker in need. There's a whole bunch of other shows on this network that are probably also doing some fun episodes, especially this time of the year.
I know that Mouse Madness just dropped a Krampus episode about the Krampus movie. Which
do you think they talked about his dick game?
Probably not as much as they should have.
They really should have.
But that's why you've got to follow up this episode with Krampus. You get your dick talk here.
Your dick talk. You can always get your dick talk here.
That's a new podcast coming with the two of us.
Dick talk?
Coming in 2021 is this is Amy Bogarde and Mike Bickett Dick Talk.
I would absolutely love to have dick talk. I just want to talk about how we think everyone's dick game is. Everyone's. We can start like back in history and just work our way forward.
And don't explain anything where you're like Benjamin Franklin. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like Robert Redford. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of those are correct, by the way.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's correct. See, it's a great podcast.
Ben Franklin has that same awkward, weird kink energy that Santa Claus has.
Oh, my God.
Ben Franklin's a panty sniffer for sure.
100%. 100%. And also, each episode of Dick Game is like 10 seconds long because it's just one person. And so it's just us being like, H.P. Lovecraft. No.
And I'm like, no?
No.
Huh. No.
No.
The end.
Thank you. Bye.
There's your micro
Dick
episode
game.
of Dick Talk.
Yep. Dick Talk. Dick Talk has a really good ring to it.
Well, that's like if Pornhub bought TikTok.
Oh, Dick Talk.
It'd be called Dick Talk. Yeah.
God damn it. Okay. Please listen to some of the other shows because they're better than this one. You can follow them at GUIPodcast.com. And finally, Jason Farnham did our theme music. It's called Payday. He probably had no idea that it was going to be on something like this. He wishes that it was on TikTok.
And consequently also on a rug
Ruggable.
Advertisement. So
that was after our podcast. They ripped us off and we're expecting royalties for Jason.
For a song
And
that
us.
we don't have any rights to whatsoever.
Not
Cool.
at all. For another just wonderful episode of Deeply Upsetting, I'm Amy Bogarde.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
Bye.
GUIPodcast.com.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here. That's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI Network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm F.U. Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're gonna fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
Embrace the madness.